Explanation of the book, Be Obsessed or Be Average. Grant Cardone. A comprehensive introduction to the book, Be Obsessed or Be Average, is a motivational book written by Grant Cardone, an entrepreneur, real estate investor, and sales coach with a unique vision on how to achieve great success and wealth. Cardone is a well-known author and speaker who began his professional journey in difficult circumstances, from a humble family whose members suffer from poverty to reach the top and achieve financial success and establish a business empire. The book presents Cardone's philosophy, which is based on the fact that a person must be obsessed with his goal to achieve exceptional success in life. Cardone believes that success requires madness in the pursuit of goals and unlimited thinking, where there is no room for procrastination or giving up on dreams. Through the book, Cardone shows how obsession can be used to achieve wealth and success in a world full of challenges. He provides practical advice to readers on how to become obsessed with their goals and have a success mindset. Cardone argues that ordinary people live their lives in a comfort zone and try to avoid taking risks or thinking outside the box. But talented and great people are not afraid to think outside the box, and they put all their energy into their goal and strive relentlessly to achieve it. The most important topics covered in the book. Chapter 1. Why do you need to be obsessed? Obsession is not negative, but it is the key to success. Cardone begins the book by defining obsession as an effective tool for achieving success. He narrates his personal experience as an example of this obsession and how this obsession became his greatest drive in work. For him, obsession means completely focusing on the goal and not allowing anything to distract you. Cardone rejects the idea that obsession can be destructive, but rather points out that obsession with goals is what gives people the energy to work tirelessly. He says, if you are not obsessed with something, you will not achieve anything great. Success does not come easy. If a person wants to become distinguished in his field, he must devote himself completely to this goal. Success does not come to people who think that ordinary work will enable them to achieve their dreams. Cardone points out that a person must sacrifice his time and effort to excel others. Examples of obsessive people. Elon Musk. Obsessed with innovation and technology, he was always working hard on developing Tesla and SpaceX. Steve Jobs. He was obsessed with perfection in designing Apple products and put all his energy into making Apple the most distinguished company. Muhammad Ali Clay. Obsessed with sports and boxing and trained so intensely that he became the greatest boxer in history. Society tries to make you ordinary. In the book, Cardone reveals how society often tries to convince you to give up your big ambitions. If you think outside the box and want to be special, many people will try to belittle your determination and tell you to be realistic. But the truth is that the successful people in this world are those who do not pay attention to these opinions and remain obsessed with their goals. Chapter 2. Determine your great goal. Don't make your goals ordinary. Cardone encourages his readers to set very big goals, not ordinary or small goals. He says that a person who wants to achieve something special must set huge goals that force him to exert unlimited effort. He gives an example of people who set small goals such as, I want to improve my life, and emphasizes that your goals should not be this superficial. You must have a great dream that you aim to achieve. The goal should be the focus of your life. A successful person must make his big goal a part of his daily life. It is not enough to just have your goal in your head. Rather, you must decide that this goal is what will determine every step in your life. Cardone mentions that in order to achieve success, you must fully embrace your goal and revolve your life around it. You must focus your energy in working on this goal constantly, even if you will sacrifice other things. Practical example. For example, if you dream of becoming a millionaire, you must accurately determine the number you seek to reach. Your goal might be to become a millionaire in 5 years by starting a business and never stop working towards that goal. Chapter 3. Using emotions as motivation, emotions as fuel. Cardone points out that emotions such as anger, fear, and frustration can be powerful fuels for success. For example, if you are angry about your current situation, you can use that anger as motivation to achieve your goals. You should not let negative emotions limit you or make you feel helpless. Instead, you should use them to find motivation and the ability to work nonstop. Fear of failure as motivation. Also, fear of failure can be a productive tool. If you are afraid of failure, you should use this feeling to double your efforts. Instead of giving in to this fear, work to overcome it through hard and continuous work. Example of emotions. If you feel afraid of failure, you can redirect that fear into a powerful motivation that acts as fuel that drives you to do your work more strongly. Chapter 4. Ignoring what others say. Ignore the naysayers. In this chapter, Cardone explains that average people will always try to discourage you or convince you that you can't achieve your dreams. They often say things like, "It's not possible," "You won't succeed," and "Why are you even trying?" But Cardone urges you to ignore these people. People who criticize you are often incapable of achieving their own goals, so you should ignore them and continue striving for success. Focus on your goals only. Focus on your future and your goals. Don't pay attention to those who tell you that your dreams are impossible. Remember, successful people are those who defy convention and ignore naysayers to achieve what they want. Chapter 5. The 10x Rule. Multiply your effort tenfold. The 10x Rule. One of Cardone's most profound ideas is the 10x Rule, which says that you should multiply your effort 10 times what you think is enough to achieve your goals. People often underestimate the amount of work required to achieve success, but Cardone advocates multiplying your effort at least 10 times. If you think working 8 hours a day is enough, you should put in 80 hours of work instead. Increase incentives and rewards. By applying the 10x Rule, don't settle for average work, but do exceptional work that sets you apart from others. If you want to become famous in a certain field, you should publish and promote yourself more than anyone else. Chapter 6. Continuous learning and self-development. Continuous learning. Cardone emphasizes that success cannot be achieved without continuous learning and development. In a rapidly changing world, you must always be learning, whether through books, training courses, or conversations with inspiring people. Invest time in learning. Instead of spending your time on useless activities such as excessive entertainment, you should invest your time in learning new skills and developing your abilities. Conclusion. Will you remain ordinary or become obsessed? The most important question at the end of the book is, are you ready to be obsessed with your goals, or will you remain satisfied with an ordinary life? Success does not come to those who take the easy way or who set small goals, but rather to those who constantly challenge themselves and strive to achieve big dreams. Obsession is not a bad thing. It is the force that drives you to achieve what others think is impossible. Michael Jordan's story. From failure to basketball legend. Michael Jordan is not just an ordinary basketball player. He is a global symbol of success and perseverance. He is considered the greatest basketball player in history, and he is the one who transformed the Chicago Bulls from an ordinary team to a dominant force in the NBA and changed the way basketball is played forever. But what many do not know is that his path to the top was not easy, but was filled with frustrations and obstacles. Childhood and beginnings. A small dream begins. Michael Jeffrey Jordan was born on February 17, 1963, in Brooklyn, New York, but he grew up in Wilmington, North Carolina. His family had a great influence on him, as his father, James Jordan, taught him the value of hard work and discipline, while his mother, Dolores Jordan, instilled in him the spirit of challenge and success. He had 4 siblings, and his father always encouraged him to compete, especially with his older brother, Larry Jordan, who was a talented basketball player. This early competition instilled in Michael a spirit of challenge and made him hate losing. The biggest shock: failure to join the high school team. In 1978, when Jordan was 15 years old, he decided to try out for the basketball team at his high school, Laney High School. He was very excited, but received a harsh shock when the coach rejected him because he was short, 1.75 m, compared to his taller teammates. This moment was a turning point in Michael Jordan's life. Instead of giving up, he decided to work extra hard to prove himself. He began training for long hours every day, working on improving his physical and shooting skills. The following year, after growing to 1.98 m, Jordan returned to the school team and became the first star, scoring 40 points in one game, which made him the focus of college coaches. College, rising to stardom. After graduating from high school, Michael Jordan received a full scholarship to the University of North Carolina, UNC, where he played under legendary coach Dean Smith. During his senior season, 1981 to 82, he led his team to the NCAA championship after scoring the winning basket in the final against a Georgetown team led by future star Patrick Ewing. This was the moment when his rise to fame began, as people began to realize that there was an extraordinary talent coming to the NBA. Entering the NBA, the beginning of a legend. In 1984, Jordan decided to leave college after 3 years to enter the NBA draft. He was selected by the Chicago Bulls as the third pick in the first round, behind Hakeem Olajuwon and Sam Bowie. Why wasn't he the first pick? At the time, not everyone was convinced that a winger could become a dominant force in the league. Teams preferred taller players, especially at center. But Jordan was ready to defy all these expectations. Rapid shine, Michael Jordan's rise to stardom. In his first season, 1984 to 85, Michael Jordan posted astonishing numbers. Average of 28.2 points per game, named Rookie of the Year. He led the Chicago Bulls to the playoffs for the first time in years. Michael Jordan quickly became one of the most popular players in the league, but he had to face even greater challenges in the years to come, the injury that nearly ended his career. In his second season, 1985 to 86, Jordan suffered a serious injury to his left foot that kept him out of most of the season. But when he returned, he put on a legendary performance in the playoffs, scoring 63 points against the Boston Celtics, a record at the time. After the game, Larry Bird, one of the greatest Celtics players, said, "I saw God playing basketball wearing a Michael Jordan jersey." The biggest challenge, facing the Detroit Pistons. Despite his brilliance, there was one team that was a nightmare for Michael Jordan, the Detroit Pistons led by Isaiah Thomas. The Pistons used the Jordan rules, a defensive strategy that relied on roughing up Jordan to prevent him from scoring. From 1988 to 1990, Jordan lost to the Pistons 3 times in a row in the playoffs, which made him realize he needed to change his strategy. Becoming a champion, 6 NBA championships. In the summer of 1990, Jordan decided to get physically stronger, so he began intensive training to increase his muscles and physical ability. The big turning point came in the 1990 to 91 season. He led the Chicago Bulls to a victory over the Detroit Pistons and then won his first NBA championship against the Los Angeles Lakers, led by Magic Johnson. After that, Michael Jordan dominated the league, leading the Bulls to win 6 NBA championships in 9 years, 1991, 1992, 1993, 1996, 1997, 1998, and winning the Finals MVP award 6 times. The first in shocking retirement, the shock of his father's death. In 1993, Michael Jordan suffered the biggest shock of his life, when his father, James Jordan, was killed in a robbery. After this tragedy, Jordan decided to suddenly retire and move to playing baseball, but he did not achieve much success there. The legendary comeback in 1995, "I'm back." In March 1995, Michael Jordan returned to the NBA after a 2-year absence, announcing his return with just one phrase, "I'm back." In the 1995 to 96 season, he led the Bulls to the best record in league history, 72-10, and won the championship again. Final retirement in 1998 and return in 2001. After winning his 6th championship in 1998, Jordan retired again, but returned in 2001 with the Washington Wizards before retiring for good in 2003. Legacy and accomplishments: 6 NBA championships, 5 MVP awards, 14 All-Star appearances, 10-time NBA leading scorer, one of the richest athletes in history, owner of the Charlotte Hornets. Michael Jordan is the most from just a player. He is a symbol of success, determination, and never giving up.